Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackers, aka the hot local single in your area. Not even I believe that, but okay, let's get to the actual business at hand today. So I want to talk about those, remember those dummy slots that were data mined a couple years ago, and how there was 16 of them, and everyone was thinking, all right, hey, 16 dummy slots. At the time, it was like, okay, maybe we get all of them filled, maybe we don't know. Well, that topic has been brought up again, and the idea of a third fighter's pass, of a smaller one, has been also brought up. So I kind of wanted to discuss this today. So let me throw out the obvious right away, right? And especially with the most recent Pyra and Mithra presentation, where like Sakurai even literally says this right at the end of presentation. I probably have some screenshots up here real quick, but Sakurai literally says it in the presentation where it's like, there's only 2 fighters remaining, and there's only 2 chances to do these kind of videos left. Now, right there should be like a big red flag for anybody that thinks maybe we're getting a third Fighters Pass. I made a video about probably a little over a month ago about Fighters Pass 3 and speculation for it and how I don't think it's going to happen. If we get anything after Fighters Pass 2, I'm in the boat of maybe, and it's a really big stretch. It's a really big stretch of maybe we get 1 bonus character when it's all said and done, and that that's a big leap. It's a big stretch, but that's what I would expect most. But again, not realistically. You get what I'm saying. So I don't think Fighters Pass Volume 3 is going to happen. So yeah, and it kind of made it was kind of weird when Sakurai mentioned that right at the end, right? Because a lot of people are bringing up the idea that, or the thought that, hey, Sakurai's lied to us in the past. Well, that's true, yes. He does say a lot of things to deceive us, to make us think one way instead of the other, and then he pulls like, oh, yes, surprise, here's even more. Here's what you actually get. So, yeah, Sakurai might be trying to, deter us from one thing. But here's the counter argument to why would Sakurai bring up at the very end of Pyra Mithra presentation that there's only 2 more chances to do videos like this? Why would he mention that when he could simply have just not said anything about that? He could have just said, all right, here's Pyra and Mithra, I hope you guys enjoy. He didn't really need to bring up the fact that there's only 2 more fighters left in Fighters Pass 2, and he didn't need to bring up there's only 2 more chances for these type of videos. So that, to me, kind of says, all right, yeah, Fighters Pass 2 is probably going to be it, and that's the mindset that I'm going in with. So let's switch over to the these dummy slots that were data mined, right? So maybe I have a screenshot of the data miner that posted this on Twitter a few years ago. But basically, the data miner finds that there are 16 character slots, right? And these are within like the Smash Bros. World of Light files. And so basically, these dummy slots represent technically like placeholders, if you will. And again, you don't always have to use these placeholders, but they're there just in case, because you never know how far the DLC will go. Like, that's the thing with business, especially Smash Bros, right? You knew that Nintendo knew they were going to do at least 1 round of DLC, and then depending on how well it did, it's Smash Bros it sold. What a surprise. But you never know how much farther you want it to take it, so they have these dummy slots in place as a precaution, just in case something else happens and they continue to push it out farther, right? So, up till Pyra and Mithra, they completed, what is it? So as of Pyra and Mithra, the reveal, 11 of those 16 dummy slots have now been filled, right? Piranha Plant was the first one. Joker, Hero, Banjo, Terry, Byleth, Min, Steve, Sephiroth, Pyra, and Mithra, because they're each their own different character. And you're going to say, well, what about Joker, the alternate one with the schoolboy uniform? Are all 4 different heroes? Or, the 2 Byleths. Did I say Byleth already? What about Steve, Alex, all those? Those are not technically different characters because they all have, like, the same data. Pyra and Mithra, as we know, Pyra hits harder. Pyra's a bit slower. Mithra's quicker and a bit, just quicker, lighter, and all that. So they're technically actually 2 different characters. They are 2 in 1 character, so that's why they each get their own separate spots. So we have 11 and 16. Well, we still got 2 more characters left in Fighters Pass Volume 2. So it will end up being 12 and 13, which leaves 3 spots remaining. Now, this has been a big topic of debate as of late. kind of like, all right, 3 spots left. They had these dummy slots since the beginning. Oh, and then the character select screen. This is another one that's been going around. So once you fill in the character select screen with the next 2 character stages, guess how many empty spaces there are on the character select screen? Well, there's 3 of them. So, everything's shaping into a perfect rectangle or square. Is it a rectangle or I don't know. It's shaping into a perfect, well-rounded. Well, squares aren't round. You get what I'm saying. It's shaping into perfect position, right? Now, the problem with that is thinking that Smash Bros, when it was developed, had the final mindset of, all right, not only does the character select screen, but the stage select screen, not only do both of those, they will both end up being perfectly shaped. That's not really something I don't think developer, like, look at fighting games, all right? Like even Smash Bros history. Okay, Smash 64 doesn't count. They had a very small roster with it was just a quick little, big rectangle bar. Nothing too crazy. But look at Melee. That was a different layout, right? Brawl was the same way, wasn't it? So they don't always need, like, especially the stage select screen is as well has not been always perfectly symmetrical. They've had some weird, odd, stages over to the right, kind of like, how did Melee go? Wasn't it like the top half was here and then kind of like shifted down a little bit for the second part of the stages? So it's not all, the point is the stage and the character select screen do not need to equal a perfect rectangle. It doesn't need to happen. I mean, I get why people think that. It looks neat. It looks better, I guess, if you want to say it looks better. I mean, I kind of think it might look okay with, a couple empty slots on the very bottom, but that's up for debate. I'm not debating that in this video, but it's up for debate. So the idea, again, is that all the characters, if we fill all those dummy slots, the character select screen makes a perfect square or rectangle. And then if each of those characters that will fill the dummy slots will supposedly come with their own stage again, well then the stage select screen will also be perfectly shaped. Okay, so that's kind of, I mean, take it how you want it. I don't think it was designed for it to be perfectly symmetrical, right? So, I mean, that's up to me. That's what I want some people to, comment on here. Do you believe that's what they had in mind? They're like, all right, the select screen for both of them have to look, perfect. There can't be any missing spots. So, that's up for debate. But let me get to something else here. So, that brings up the, for if we're going to go with these fighter pass, the extra 3 dummy slots, if you will. Who could it be? And, is it really possible that those could happen? Well, that's the thing. I'm a skeptic when it comes to this because I'm not going to believe any more Smash is coming, no matter how much I want more Smash stuff to come. Anymore, I'll buy it. Like, instantly. Tell me there's Fighter Pass 3, 4, and 5 right tomorrow, and I will instantly pre-order all of it, even if I have to wait 3 years to get all of it. I will buy all the DLC. I don't care. I will wait. But just because I want it to happen, I can put my bias aside and say, I don't know if this will honestly happen. So, could we actually expect more characters, and who could it be? So, one character that comes to mind for me, Ryu Hayabusa. Now, roll with me on this one. So, Hayabusa's name has been thrown around quite often in terms of Smash DLC speculation, right? Well, ever since Smash DLC speculation became a thing, his name is always getting thrown around out there. So, could Hayabusa essentially be one of those last 3 characters to fill dummy slots 14, 15, or 16? That's a possibility. Again, like I was saying, his name has been thrown around a lot. But anybody remember the leaker Vergabin, who had a pretty dang good track record? Some people hold some stuff against him that wasn't, like, just because you don't hear information doesn't mean you're wrong. But, the main point with Vergabin is he said he heard about Minecraft content. And after all, we got Steve in Minecraft in Smash Bros, right? And the negotiations that popped up, that said, or the information about that said it took around 5 years. So, what if this leaker, Vergabin, for example, heard about Koei Tecmo and Nintendo in negotiations for Smash Bros specifically? Now, what if this was a few years ago? What if this was even after Fighters Pass 1, maybe even after Fighters Pass 2 had been settled? After that was already finalized, they knew who they were going to do. And then Koei Tecmo and Nintendo are like, all right, yeah, we agree on this. So now you have this extra character that it's like, all right, wait a minute. Fighters Pass 1 and 2 are already filled. But yet we have the rights and we have this agreement for this new character. What do we do with that? Maybe a bonus character does come along. Maybe they do end up filling all 3 of those extra dummy slots in the end. That's always a possibility, but you know what else could be a possibility? Another character, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed in Smash, okay? But something that else could happen. What if, since we are now at 11 of the 16 dummy slots, right? We could have essentially a character that takes up a few slots themselves, like Pyra and Mithra both took up 1 different spot. So 2 total. So what if we have another character that's like a 2-in-1, a 3-in-1 type of character, right? Could that happen? Could that be possible? Sure, absolutely. There's tons of characters you could float around the idea for, but you never know. So I think the filling the dummy slots is definitely possible. Yes, it is. But at the same time, you got to look at it, on the other hand. It's those dummy slots were created for a specific reason. Now, what was the reason? Did they know they were going to have 16 total characters at the end? Or was 16 more of a, all right, we're just going to put these in the game and they're going to be in there no matter what. So we're future-proofing the game is kind of what they would be getting to. So remember with Smash 4, from the research I did, Smash 4 also had, for DLC, they had these extra dummy slots, which they filled every single one of the dummy slots. But the key was, they ended up having to add 1 additional dummy slot for Corrin's reveal, because I guess Corrin was never really planned until like pretty late, so then they had to get the additional spot in there. So maybe again, the dummy slots are just future-proofing Smash Bros. As a just in case we reach this point. And if we get to this point, maybe that will be the cutoff. You never know. Because I think, maybe my math is off, but I think 16, if you fill all 16, doesn't that make the roster an even 90 characters? Okay, that's a lot of characters. But then why stop at 90? You're only 10 away from 100. Give us a few Echo Fighters if you really want to. People will pay for an Echo Fighter pass. It'll have to be cheaper. But I guarantee you people would pay for an Echo Fighter pass just to help bulk up the roster if you really wanted to, or just stretch out another 2 Fighters passes with 5 characters each if you really wanted to go that route. Stretch it all the way out to 100. I don't know, it's possible. But bottom line is the dummy slots, they don't necessarily mean, or they don't necessarily have to mean they're all going to get filled. They could have just been future-proof. Could have just been like, just in case we get here, these spots are ready. They could happen. So, and then you have characters that have taken a long time to get into Smash, like Steve, and potentially like Ryu Hayabusa. Again, Hayabusa could actually come in Fighters Pass 2. That's still a possibility. It's still a big possibility. But if he doesn't, and we have these leakers that are hearing these names for years and years, maybe it's the same situation as Steve. All right, maybe we didn't make him work in, for a certain timeline, but now we get to refocus and revisit this later on and go, all right, now we can make it work. We still have a few dummy slots left over. It could happen. So I don't know. It's kind of an interesting idea. I like it. And again, I would love more Smash. Like I said, I'll buy it right now. If you tell me Fighters Pass 3, 4, and 5 come out tomorrow and I could pre-order, yep, Nintendo, you can have my money. I don't have it in my hands, but I promise you could have it. So yeah, I just want to know what people's thoughts are. Do you think here's the question. Do you think all 16 dummy slots are going to get filled by characters? Now, no, it's that simple. It's that simple. Do you think all 16 slots will get filled? Right now, I do not think so. I would love to be wrong, but I do not think so. So, yeah, just let me know that down in the comments. Either way, that is it for today. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, nonetheless. And, oh, by the way, let me touch on one more thing on my notes. I totally skipped over this. But when Vergabin said that Nintendo and Koei did talk about Smash, we don't know to the extent of what. Maybe it was a character. Maybe it was spirits. Maybe it was a boss. We had no idea. Because remember, back in January, we got the Koei Tecmo developed game Age of Calamity Spirits. So maybe that's what it was? I couldn't tell you for sure, but it could have been. So just going to throw that out there. So anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed. So that is all I have for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.